to order. Please rise. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
change that evil so it's flying. Roll call, please.
Bunton.
Here.
Campbell.
Here.
Dempsey.
Here.
Ford.
Here.
Hill.
Here.
Crop. Here. Fencer.
Here. Announcements, acknowledgements, communications, and reports, including the quarterly department head reports. Do we have any from this board? No? Okay. Department heads.
So we'll start with our first report from Brian Tingley from Community Development.
Okay, so in the third quarter of this year, there were 367 building and other trade permits issued, 577 new code enforcement cases open. There were 187 rental inspections and vacant property verifications. 72 new rental certificates of compliance were issued. 15 new certificates of occupancy were issued, and our contractor cut 151 properties for grass and weeds. This quarter, department staff attended several meetings regarding the Farmers Market project, participated in the development of Macomb County's Growth Spec Corridor GIS portal, attended 3 meetings of the Historical Commission, attended a CDBG implementation workshop for 2018 projects, oversaw the demolitions of 88 Gibbs, 127 Court, and 12 Murdoch. We have begun working on zoning ordinance updates with LSL Planning for the master plan and our RRC certification. And we worked with the city engineer in purchasing on the bid packet and award for the kayak launch at MacArthur Park. In this quarter, the Planning Commission met 3 times and reviewed the conditional rezoning request for 205 Washington, reviewed the proposed farmers market site plan, and approved a new 12,000 square foot industrial building at 241 Church.
Any questions? Commissioner Ford?
What about the house on Walnut that's fallen down with the truck parked in the yard, the camper?
Yeah, the owner of that property submitted a permit to do a private demolition, and we're still waiting on some documentation from them in order to issue the permit. But it is their intent to demolish it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next, if we could have Linda Kuneth from the Finance Department.
This last quarter, the Finance Department was very busy with the annual audit. City's auditors, Plant Moran, were on site to conduct the audit for the fiscal year of 2016-17. The financial report is expected to be brought to Commission in December for review. I attended the retirement board meeting, and we had our first retiree health care board meeting. Those meetings are also quarterly with the same board as the health care. So we're looking forward to getting that funded with money that was set aside. That'll be coming, and hopefully on the meeting in January, we'll talk about investments and such with Loomis Sales was designated for that investment, to make those investments recommendations. Starting July 1, the treasurer's counter in City Hall accepts debit and credit cards, payments for taxes, utilities, and parking. Customers may still pay cash, check, and money order as well, and you can always pay online by credit card as well. If you have any questions regarding paying bills, call 586-469-6818 extension 1. There were 6,338 summer tax bills mailed and processed. 106 senior tax deferments were issued. Updated information was placed on the back side of the tax bills, and that will happen again in winter as to how to make payments. Assessing staff had 76 property appeals at the July Board of Review, and staff is continuing to process permits and deed changes in the assessing program. City had an average of 2,200 utility bills that were sent out this past quarter. 156 properties had delinquent water bill payments or broken arrangements and were shut off, generated $3,900 in fee revenues to reestablish that service. There were 416 parking stickers sold last quarter. totaling over $30,000. Usage of the Park Mobile app to pay for parking continues to increase, and the Treasurer's Office is also accepting payments for the community development permits and fees. It's all coordinated now through the Treasurer's Department. The Fire Department communication upgrade is complete and going very well with the Macomb County Dispatch. Everything seems to be working well, and there's some good support from the Macomb County in making sure that that continues. Training, utilization of the system. New World is the program that they're using with all the communities. It's really working well. And then finally, in purchasing, there were 10 bids on mitten, cable on the city website, processed 4 insurance claims, 350 purchase orders, 34 agenda items for city commission approval, 25 service orders were issued for building, repair, maintenance, plumbing, electrical, HVAC, roof issues, those types of things. Is there any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sarah Price, for Human Resources.
The City of Mount Clemens ended the third quarter with 71 total employees, 62 full-time and 9 part-time members. Within the last quarter, that the city advertised for, interviewed candidates, and offered positions to external individuals for the positions of bus driver and wastewater treatment plant operator. Internally, we had an employee fill an open maintenance worker position. The seasonal employees that we had working with us during the summer season have now all ended their assignments. And we are currently accepting applications for a part-time dial-a-ride bus driver position. If you are interested in this position or any positions the city may have available, please visit our website, www.cityofmountclemens.com, and click on the link for job opportunities. And it is a requirement to complete the employment application that can be found on the HR webpage. In addition to the movement of the employees, HR office processed 6 biweekly payrolls and 3 retiree payrolls. The HR department prepared information in conjunction with the finance department and the city clerk's office for the annual audit and the actuary valuation. Within the last month, HR has worked with members of the manager's office and the city clerk's office, as well as the mayor, to work on the 2018 State of the City presentation. And just a reminder that that event will take place on Friday, October 27th at 8 a.m. at the Oakland University Anton Frankel Center. Customer service training was offered to all of our office and administrative staff. Additional training will be forthcoming. We've also spent a considerable amount of time preparing for the upcoming benefits open enrollment period. In addition to all of that, we've responded to a variety of employment verifications, wage surveys, and insurance questions, as well as performed general maintenance to the employee records. And also the Clementine's newsletter was created and distributed to all residents and can be found on our website as well. Do you have any questions?
No. Thank you.
Jeanette Best from the Utilities Department.
Really? I think it's a trick. They save the best for last, and then they leave the microphone really high. This last quarter, we produced 211 million gallons of exceptional quality drinking water. We treated 359 million gallons of wastewater. We responded to 273 customer requests. The new water and sewer rates took effect July 1st. Our cross-connection control program, the bid was awarded to HydroCorp Incorporated, a new provider for this service. So we're working out the kinks in that. Our supervisory control and data acquisition system, which is the plant controls, the automated plant controls for both the water plant and the wastewater plant. That project was completed. At the wastewater treatment plant, we drafted and submitted to the DEQ an asset management plan for the wastewater plant, completed and submitted the revised operation plan for the retention treatment basin. Our biosolids dewatering centrifuge was repaired. It was returned to us. We flew it back in the roof and put it back in place, and it's now back in service. We purchased new lamps for our ultraviolet light disinfection system. At the water plant, we completed the lead and copper sampling and testing. That has been submitted to the DEQ. We completed and submitted our required quarterly testing for the DEQ. We replaced all the air lines for the pneumatic controls in the plant, at the water plant, which is a really big project. We did that in-house. The Water and Sewer Maintenance Division, we completed the repair of the sewer force main from the water plant to the wastewater plant. Our folks did that. We had to have one part fabricated, and then we installed all the work, all the pipe work. Repaired 3 water main breaks. We started the fire hydrant painting project, which will continue as long as the weather permits. You'll see the fire hydrants are now bright yellow. They look really nice. We started in the center of town. We're working our way out through the main arteries in town. Then we're gonna keep circling our way out. We'll begin that again in the spring. The cleaning and televising of all the city's sanitary and combined sewers is continuing, and completion is expected by the end of the year. Anybody have any questions?
Commissioner Ford?
Has any contractor complained about the price raise?
Contractors?
Yeah.
No.
The dump over there?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Everybody else
Okay.
has, but not contractors.
The residents.
Thank you.
During the last quarter, the Public Services Department has begun to survey and rate all of the city's streets utilizing the PACER, or Pavement Surface Evaluation and Rating System. They have winterized the irrigation systems, the downtown fountain, the city buildings, and boat docks. Scheduled a meeting with MDOT for the approval of the bid documents and plans for the upcoming Transportation Alternatives Program grant. Submitted the Title VI report to the Michigan Department of Transportation certifying compliance with the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Completed the street striping program for this year and replaced traffic signs as needed due to damage or poor reflectivity. Trimmed 151 city trees and removed 12 trees as requested and deemed necessary by city staff. We'll begin the street sweeping program for the fall season within the next couple of weeks with a schedule posted on the city's Facebook page and website. And please do not rake leaves into the street. Please place them at the curb in compost bags for pickup by the sanitation contractor with your regular trash. We have begun preparing the winter snow removal and salting equipment. Issued 1,570 parking citations, generating approximately $114,000 in meter revenue. Responded to 161 animal control complaints and supplied services to 14,179 persons utilizing the dial ride system.
Questions?
I
Commissioner
just
Menzer?
had- It was pointed out to me that some of our local homeless population has been using the electricity and the water on the, on the docks for the boat slips. Has that all been turned off?
It has been.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you.
And Lisa, the city clerk.
The city clerk's office is busy preparing for the upcoming city election to be held on Tuesday, November 7th. The office of mayor and city commissioner will be on the ballot. An initial batch of 800 absentee ballots for this election were processed and mailed earlier this month to voters who requested them. Our department recently received new voting equipment, and we have completed all of the preliminary testing on it. We'll begin training our election workers on the new equipment in the upcoming weeks. Starting tomorrow, the new equipment will be on display for the public to view in the lobby at City Hall. It'll probably be up kind of right outside this commission chambers here. So if anybody wants to come down and take a look at what the new tabulator will be like when you go to the poll, it will be here and available for you. The city clerk's office will be open on Saturday, November 4th from 8:30 until 2 p.m. That is for processing absentee ballots, so if anybody would like to request a ballot or turn a ballot in, they can come in here. We'll be in the election area, and they can do so. They will need to show photo ID to get a ballot. Monday, November 6th is the last day that a voter can come into the clerk's office to obtain an absentee ballot if they're unable to make it to the precinct on Tuesday. The deadline for that is 4 o'clock on Monday, and the ballot would have to be voted here at City Hall. You cannot take the ballot with you. The department fulfilled numerous FOIA requests this past quarter, And we continue to accept applications for appointments to boards, committees, and commissions. These positions are an excellent way to give back to the community. Vacancies remain on the following boards: Brownfield Redevelopment Authority, Construction Code Board of Appeals, Historic District Commission, Planning Commission, and Traffic Safety Committee. If you're interested in serving on any of these boards or have any questions about any of the information presented, please contact the City Clerk's office at 469-6818, extension 3.
Questions? Thank you. Is that it? Oh, that's right, I'm sorry, cable.
In the last quarter, the cable television department completed a 5-year project in which we converted the entire station to high definition. We started 5 years ago by buying cameras, editing equipment, suites, things like that nature. We moved on to our studio and converted our studio control to high definition with the ability to stream online. We then replaced our network to handle all the HD video traffic and the upgraded things that we need to do. Our network was built in the late 90s, so now it's going to be good for the next 10 to 15 years. And we just replaced all of our playback equipment, so when you watch us now on Comcast and WOW, we're actually getting pure HD now. When they offer our channel signals in HD, you'll get it that way. Right now, we're still in standard F. That's how they offer it to you. All of our old equipment that goes back to the 1980s was all picked up and recycled by Electrocycle Incorporated at no cost to us. So they took many hundreds of pounds of metal away from us for free. It was very, very nice. So the cable station and all of its infrastructure will be fine for the next 10 to 15 years.
Excellent.
Any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay,
That's all I have.
thank you. Adoption of the agenda.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to ask that you consider amending the agenda, adding the supplied bid tab for the Parnacost sewer repair to purchases and payments as item number 4.
Where's it going to go? It's going to go under purchase and payments?
Purchases and payments.
Okay. Are there any other changes? Okay, need a motion?
Motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Hill. Yes. Crop,
Yes.
Menser,
Yes. Bunton.
Yes.
Okay, public participation, this is the time you may address this body. All we ask is that you give us your name, residential address, and that you adhere to a 3-minute rule. Open mic night.
My name is Rick Block. I still live on Cambridge, 207 Cambridge. I have a question and I'm going to reiterate a concern. Sometime later this evening, you're going to be asked to vote to pay a bill. You bought an impeller for a sewage pump, a little over 10 grand. I got a couple questions about that. Since it's an invoice, I'm assuming it's been delivered. I'm assuming that it's been installed. Is that correct? No. Not yet? Okay. When it's installed, will there be a vibration analysis signature taken on that machine, on that pump? That would be helpful, because if the impeller costs 10 grand, the pump costs considerably more than that, and that'll give you some kind of idea of what the status of the pump is. Thank you. My concern is that I brought this up earlier this year, probably the first meeting in April, which was after the first quarter, but I noticed that tonight all 6 department heads and/or officials read their quarterly report. I asked why we couldn't see that on the website in April. The response that came was that it was too costly. Now, everybody read that. Now, unless they used a manual Underwood typewriter, I'm going to assume they used a computer. So that document is already there, pretty easy to put on the website so that we, the public, could take a look and just see what's going on. It's impossible to write, take notes, and listen at the same time. At least it is for me. Just be helpful to us to know what's going on. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Oh.
Renee Clemens. I live at 258 Robertson Court, and I just have some comments about the proposed Floral Avenue development. My home is actually visible on the map that was presented at the last meeting. So I have a vested interest in what happens in the 11 acres next to me. It's currently used for neighborhood recreation. I know it's zoned for multifamily use. Floral Avenue currently allows for parking on only one side of the street per the International Fire Code due to its narrow width. And residents are already weaving in and out of parked cars to get through there. I don't think there's any more room for any heavier traffic. This development is they're asking for a tax break, you know, for potentially years to come. There's already a high percentage of properties not paying taxes in Mount Clemens, and it seems like the residents are already paying a higher portion of the taxes to support the city, and much higher property taxes than surrounding communities. I personally know people who will not look in Mount Clemens to move here because the taxes are just much higher than Clinton Township or Harrison Township or anything like that. And then also, this development is proposed to be for seniors only, and not that, you know, nothing against seniors, I'm shortly to be one myself, but I'm wondering if maybe we need to attract a different, maybe possibly younger population to help the city, make the city vibrant and thrive again. That's all.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. No administrative response?
No, there is.
Oh, there's, I'm
Lisa
sorry.
has- Lisa has.
I'm sorry, Lisa.
That's all right. A resident asked that public participation be moved to a later portion of the commission meeting so that residents can address the current agenda items at the meeting and not have to wait 2 weeks to do so. City Charter 10.121 and Section 84 and Section 90 provides that the City Commission shall determine the organization, rules, and order of business by resolution at a special organizational meeting held on the Monday following each regular city election. Being that city elections are held every odd year November, the City Commission reviews this resolution every 2 years. It will be reviewed at the special organizational meeting scheduled for Monday, November 13th, following the upcoming city election.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes from previous meeting?
Move to approve the minutes from the October 2nd Commission early meeting as well as the regular meeting.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Dempsey?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Crop?
Yes.
Menser?
Yes.
Bunton?
Yes.
Campbell?
Okay, general business, 9A, request to approval to enter into a site access agreement with BLDI, Inc. I need a motion.
Move to approve the attached site access agreement between the City of Mount Clemens and the BLDI Inc. as presented.
Second.
BLDI Inc., a Michigan Environmental Consulting Corporation, has requested permission to perform an environmental investigation and assessment for sampling of groundwater on city right-of-way located on the north side of Harrington Street near its intersection with southbound Gratiot Avenue. The proposed site access agreement, which includes a map of the area location, would allow BLDI Incorporated permission to enter the property to install monitoring wells and take samples from the property, provided they restore the site to as close to its current condition as possible.
Comments, questions? Commissioner Hill?
I was just wondering if there's something particular that they're looking for, or what the purpose of this is.
These are, we've done these on numerous other sites, and usually this site is adjacent to a gas station, and normally they're looking to see if there's any contamination, any groundwater being affected. That's
Okay,
the purpose.
thank you.
Commissioner Menser?
We're not paying for this, are we?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Is this like the adjacent property owner is looking for this, or is it, I mean, who is this company?
I would assume they're hired by the oil company that owns
The gas
that
station.
station. That's normally. or it sometimes will be a company that at one point in time owned it and may not own it now, but they're trying to make sure they don't have any liability, potential liability down the road.
Anyone else? Roll
Will
call,
we,
please.
I'm sorry, well, I do.
Commissioner Kraft?
Will we get the results of this? Probably.
If there are governmental in the agreement clauses, upon our request, they have to provide us with any governmental reports that are submitted.
Okay. Okay, no, I'm not.
Roll call, please.
Ford,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menzer,
Yes.
Bunton,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes. 9B, to set a date for the first public hearing of the downtown maintenance program. Need a motion?
Move to approve the November 6, 2017 as the date for the first public hearing of the downtown maintenance program.
Second.
Request to set November 6, 2017 as the date for the first public hearing of the downtown maintenance program.
Questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Hill,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menzer,
Yes.
Bunton,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
9C, approve purchase and payments of invoice.
Move to approve purchases and payment of invoices as presented.
Second.
Any questions?
Yeah,
Okay, Commissioner Menzer?
I just wondered, road professional services, design engineering for Harrington Street pavement rehab. They're just putting the plan together, the engineering plan.
Right.
What section of Harrington does it cover?
It covers all of what's in the city limits. So basically from southbound Gratiot to Hillsdale.
Hillsdale, okay. Okay, good.
Anyone else? Okay, roll call.
Menzer,
Yes.
Bunton,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
Okay, consent agenda.
Move to approve consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Roll call.
Bunton,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menzer.
Yes.
City managers report.
The special city commission meeting scheduled for 6 p.m. this evening was canceled, with the regular commission meeting beginning at 7 p.m. The following events will be held on Saturday, October 28, 2017. The Farmers Market Pumpkin Party will be from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on North River Road. For more information, please contact 586-469-7600. The Halloween Spooktacular, sponsored by the Downtown Development Authority, will take place from noon until 3 p.m. on Macomb Place at the Fountain Stage. For more information, please call 586-469-4168. The Optimist Club will host a trunk or treat at the Macomb County parking structure on Main Street from noon until 3 p.m. For more information, please call 586-899-3634. The city general election is Tuesday, November 7th, 2017. Polls will be open from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. The city clerk's office will be open on Saturday, November 4th, from 8:30 a.m. until 2 p.m. for processing absentee ballot requests. For questions regarding the election or to find out where your precinct is located, please contact the city clerk's office at 586-469-6818, extension 3. And the city has received new voting equipment funded by the Help America Vote Act. The new tabulators will be on display at City Hall beginning Tuesday, October 17th through Tuesday, October 31st. Please stop by the clerk's office anytime during normal business hours to view the new devices. And please join me in welcoming new employee Matthew Williamson to the city as wastewater treatment plant operator.
Any questions? Okay, commissioner comments. Commissioner Ford.
No comments tonight.
Okay. Commissioner Bunton.
Well, I was watching TV and I saw a bunch of football players wearing pink, so I guess that means this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Take time to pray for those who are affected by breast cancer or offer a kind thought on their behalf. It was a distant thought in my mind until it struck a member in my family, and then it became a very personal occasion. So fortunately, my sister is a survivor, and I am now very much aware of how hard it is on the person with the disease, the people who are in the family, as well as the caregivers. So show them some love, show them some support this month. All right, happy Halloween to those who celebrate it on Tuesday the 31st. Be safe, have fun, but be careful. This is a dangerous time. The Mount Clemens Community Coalition for Youth and Families here in Mount Clemens will be having their biannual drug take-back event on Saturday, October 28th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Wilson Gym located at 58 South Wilson in Mount Clemens. Prepare to bring your unused, unwanted, and expired drugs to be properly disposed of by the Sheriff Department. This is a national event sponsored by the National Drug Enforcement Agency, and we are pleased to be participants in it. I guess before we meet again, we'll be ending daylight savings time. So on November 5th, 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. 2 a.m. you want to set your clocks back. And time for Commissioner Wisdom. Never complain about something that you have not already tried to correct. And I don't know if any of you guys are old enough to remember George Carlin, but he was a rather raunchy comedian back in the day. But he had some wisdom as well. So I'm going to give you a couple of his. We have multiplied our possessions, but we reduced our values. We have cleaned up the air, but polluted our souls. Food for thought. And with that, we'll say good night.
Good night. Commissioner Menser.
So it is flu season. The County of Macomb is offering flu vaccine at its Mount Clemens location on Elizabeth near the jail. $20 cash unless you have Medicare Part B, Medicaid, and then some other insurances will be accepted to cover the costs. So it's close, it's local, and you can visit them on the web at health.macombgov.org or call them at 469-5235. And while we're talking about that, Medicare Part B and D counseling appointments are available over at the old Washington School from Macomb Community Action. There's a limited time to enroll for that. It is from October 16th today to December 7th. They will help you enroll in, and you have to pick a plan every year. So they will counsel you on what plan might be best for you. It's at the, as I said, the Washington School. It's called the Family Resource Center, 196 North Rose. They are taking appointments Monday through Friday, 9 to 3:30. So you can also call them at 469-5228. It's a good service if you don't understand insurance, and it's Medicare Part B and D can be very complicated. So we've talked before about Selfridge and trying to get the F-35s here. The other day I was hanging out in one of my favorite food establishments again, enjoying the mac and cheese and cornbread at Gumbo's, and two very young, they looked like they were 12, handsome young men from Selfridge in full uniform came in. I just hope that when you see these young men in our community, that you thank them for their service and greet them, because they're most probably a long way from home and feeling a little unusual, uncomfortable, not knowing where they are. So it would be really nice if our community would be really, really welcoming to them. So that's my bit tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Pratt?
I would like to thank the owners of the building on the northwest corner of northbound Gratiot and Riverside for finally pulling the weeds on the side of the building and making the property look presentable for everyone who drives down northbound Gratiot every day. And it has lowered my blood pressure. Of course, I then drive a little bit further and I see the mess of the post office. So I implore everyone who's using the post office to make a comment and to let them know that it doesn't take a whole lot to pull their weeds. It goes a long way when people are driving through our community, and they should be ashamed of the lot that's on south that butts back to southbound Gratiot. It is terrible. It has practically trees growing out of it, and it looks awful. And see, there goes my blood pressure again. I am encouraged, though, to see the construction on the party store on Main Street, which also used to look like it was a serious blight violation. Now it is being completely restored and looks really nice. So I'm glad to see that. I'm also glad to see that the donation bins that were on southbound Gratiot, right in front of the Dollar General, have been removed as of today. They were becoming a nuisance, and people were dropping mattresses and furniture when they were clothing bins. If you would like to donate items, you don't have to drop them in a random parking lot. You can take them to Secondhand Rose. You can take them to the Salvation Army. They would be happy to take your used goods. You can receive an absentee ballot still at the city clerk's office. It is our responsibility as citizens to get out the vote. Coffee talk, I would like to thank everyone who came out. I had a very good turnout on last Tuesday, and I had new faces, which was great to see. I will have my next coffee talk. I'm only going to have one in the month of November. So November 18th, which is a Saturday at 9:30 a.m. at John's Family Grill. If you would like to hear about current events in Mount Clemens or have questions, I will be there and having some coffee. So I'd like to welcome anyone who is interested. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Commissioner Hill?
First of all, I'd like to thank the department heads for their quarterly reports. I always find them very interesting. It's amazing, all the work that is being done in the offices here. I want to say something about the public participation part of the meeting. Mr. Block talked about that at the last meeting. As City Manager Ms. Board just mentioned, that will be one of the issues the City Commission will discuss again after the November 7th election. The discussion of when to have the public participation has occurred more than once since I've been on the City Commission. We've talked it out quite a bit. As I recall, we decided to have public participation at the beginning of the meeting so citizens can speak to the issues that will be discussed and voted on during the meeting. If people speak before the commission votes, it gives us an opportunity to see how people feel about the agenda items and may influence how we vote. It was the consensus that having public participation at the end of the meeting would give people a chance to react to what happened, but it would be too late to influence the vote. So that's the reasoning. I suppose that could change the next time it's discussed. The retirement board met last Monday, October 9th. Our investments continue to do well and are sufficient to pay the pension benefits of the city's retirees. Our longtime financial advisor, David Sowerby, has left Loomis Sales to work for another investment group. Although we appreciate the work Mr. Sowerby did for us, we have decided to stay with Loomis Sales, and they have provided us with a new representative. Loomis Sales is also handling the account that has been set up to pay health benefits. although it will take some time to build up that fund to the point where it will pay the health benefits for our city retirees, but it's a good start in that direction. On November 7th, Mount Clemens citizens will be electing three city commissioners and the mayor. There are 5 people running for 3 openings for the city commission and 2 people running for mayor. Please be informed and be sure that you vote. If you're wondering how to be informed, one good source is the journal that comes to every single house in Mount Clemens, and they usually get statements from each candidate that they publish in there, so you can at least see what people say they want to do if they're elected. So that's one good source. Another way to be informed is to ask your friends if they know any of these people, and get as much information as you can, because we need quality people in these positions. And with that, I will say have a good evening and a great week.
Thank you. Commissioner Campbell.
I just have the comment regarding putting the department head reports on the website. I think that's an excellent idea based off of all the information they gave us tonight on exactly how much they do and what takes place. I think it's an excellent way to let the citizens know how hardworking the department heads are, along with the residents or the other employees of the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Just my plug for the parade, which is coming up. There was a misprint in the Clementine, which said that the parade was going to be on Friday, and it's actually Saturday, the 18th, downtown Mount Clemens, 10 o'clock. We're still looking for volunteers. You can always use lots of volunteers. And if you can't volunteer, come down and support the parade. And with that, I am going to ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Meeting adjourned.